All right, we'll go ahead and get started. So, thanks everyone for joining us. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Brian Fritz. I am helping out over here just for the summer. So, my email is on the screen. If you have any questions over the next month or so, you can email that projects at Huron County, Ohio. Might be a couple things today that you need, and I'll make sure that's there at the end as well. So I think with everyone that's on here, some of you have made your account, some of you have not. So keeping that in mind, we'll try to go slow to make sure everyone can get caught up and use this feature. So for today, a couple of different things that we're going to try to hit on. The first thing is just what is the purpose of this member hub? How can it be used for your business or organization? Logging in for the first time for those of you that haven't, we'll go into that and navigating the member hub, the different features that are available there, how you can post jobs and events, things like that. And that's kind of what we'll end with today. So before we go in and kind of navigate the member hub, just a little bit of background on what is GrowthZone and kind of the purpose of this. So this is a good way for everyone to be organized. And one of the main features is being able to view, register some events, be able to pay for them through this member hub, different job postings that you have, or if you want to view other members and the jobs that they have available, you can do that, as well as membership invoices, paying for those. That will all be centralized in this website now. And then there's a few other things that we'll get into towards the end, like navigating the directory, possibly using the forum in the future, and also being more organized with like email lists and committees, things like that. So we're going to start with just kind of setting up your account. So if you've already gone through this and you did this, you can kind of ignore the next couple slides. But if you have not done anything on that end yet, I'll give you a minute to go and find this email that was sent on Monday. And you should have got just kind of a intro email saying that this is the setup for the member hub. There is a link in that email where it says create your login. So if you click that link that's in the email, it will take you to a page that looks like this. So pretty simple form, just first and last name and then email. Just make sure you're using the same email that this prior one was sent to. So you'll be asked to make a password. And once you're all set up there, you will get one additional email that looks like this, where you're just kind of officially activating your account. So I will give everyone a minute or so if you need to do that. And while we're waiting, if anyone has any questions already, you're more than welcome to ask. And we'll try to help you out.
Hi, everyone. Sarah and Emily here too. Just wanted to say hi and that we are also here monitoring the chat and the Q&A if you have anything.
All right, does anyone need more time before I move ahead and kind of explain some things in the member hub? If you do, you're welcome to unmute and tell me to wait. All right. So once you're logged in, this is the screen that you should see. Might look a little bit different. There's more events on the right-hand side now, but this is the main landing screen that you will see each time you log in. So I will go through most of these along the left-hand side. So just kind of pay attention to that as I'm going through, and I ask you on your screen as well to kind of navigate through each of those pages. So the first option on that left-hand side is the My Info page. I don't have a screenshot of this one. It's going to look different for everyone, but this is more of a personalized information page. You can put like a bio about yourself. This is in some parts separated from your organization. I'll show you where kind of all the organization specific parts that you can customize are further down on this, but just make sure your name, contact information is correct on that My Info page. And then before we get too far into this, some of the things that I'm going to go over here, only certain people have access to. So there are 5 different settings as far as access goes for the member hub. So the first one is the super admin one. We recommend that only 1 or 2 people within your organization have the super admin status, but at the end of the day, that's kind of up to you. The big difference with the super admin access is just you can delete some information tied to your organization, and you can see the organizational billing information. So for other employees that maybe you want to have access to the member hub, but not see all of that, uh, you may want them to have like an admin or manager status, which still gives them a lot of control, can create events, job postings, and things like that. But they cannot see organizational billing and they really cannot delete account information. And then there is the employee status as well, which is just kind of the most basic level. They can see pretty much everything on the member hub, but they cannot access organizational billing. They cannot edit a lot of the information. This employee one is also the default setting that if someone creates a new account within your organization, they go straight to that employee level. The idea behind that setting was really for someone that maybe you don't want to have access to everything, but still have some of the access of the perks of being a member. And then the guest one for us, we can kind of ignore, but kind of same thing, really cannot access a whole lot. So if we're going through some stuff today and it's not showing up on your screen, there's probably not a problem. Just the access level needs to be changed here in the beginning. So you can send me an email at that projects at huroncountyohio.com and we can go in and on our end change the settings. All right, so that gets into the My Billing information. So you can store payment types on the member hub now. Invoices can be viewed there and can be paid there. There's also different auto pay preferences that you can set on this feature as well. So My Billing info will show up for pretty much every employee access level that we just talked about. But when you click into some of the fields, if you're not that super admin status, there's not going to be anything there for you to see. There is the option for like registering for events. If as an employee, someone wants to register and pay for it themselves, whatever it might be, there's still that option there for them, even if they're on the lower end of the access level. Just again, they won't see the organizational information. Okay, so The next one down is the My Directory listing. And this is pretty important to set up and organize and have all of the correct contact information, because this is going to be transferred onto the main public website. So you want all that information to be complete there. So there's a few different things you can do. You can update the address, website, phone number. For some of you, maybe this is already included. Maybe you've already done it. For others, maybe you need to go in there and actually edit some of that information. So that is one thing in the directory listing. And I'll show you what's going to look like on the website as well. But make sure that is accurate. The second really important thing on the My Directory listing is to set up your category. So when the directory is on the website, your organization will not populate on there until there's some sort of category. There's quite a few, not an overwhelming number of categories, but just make sure they're kind of broad to a degree. So the one that best represents your organization, you should be able to, again, if you're that super admin status. If you're a lower one, maybe this edit symbol is not there for you. And we can help you out with that. But select the category that best fits your organization. And then I'll show you here in a second where that will show up on our website. And the third thing you can do to kind of make your organization stand out on the public website on the directory is add a logo. So if you hover over the gray building icon there should be a pencil where if you select it, you'll be able to drag and drop a logo for your organization on there, and then it'll show up on the website. So I'm going to exit my presentation for a minute here and go to kind of my sample account. So if I go down to directory listing, I will see what you just saw the screenshot of. So if I hover, there's that pencil. So I'm going to go to my desktop and I'm just going to drag and drop this logo here and then save it. And I'll see it there now. So if you want to see what this looks like in both the member hub side and also the public side, over here in the top right, there's this drop down that says view listing in. And I can see the member side of what the organization would look like. So I see the logo there now, and I have this contact information. And then I can also see the public website version where you have the same information. And this is on the actual HCGP website. So I'll show that as well. If I go to the main website, just so you can see kind of the purpose and making sure this is complete. If I scroll down to like the bottom of the homepage, there is the member directory button. If I go ahead and click that, we'll see these different categories. If you selected your category, you should have seen these. So on my sample one, I have my category set as other. So if I go to other, I will see it is there. Okay, so you can kind of click through some of these other categories and you'll see some businesses have gone through and added some of their information. But again, if you are not seeing yours on there, it's because there's no category selected. So that's why it's important to make sure you fill that page out completely so that when the public goes and they want to find different businesses for whatever field it is, that your website pops up. You do not need a logo as well. Your website or your organization will still pop up. But again, it makes it stand out maybe a little bit more. Any questions about the directory listings? Okay, I
I'll
will.
just add, sorry, Brian, that we do get a lot of requests, people just calling our general line, asking for, HVAC contractors or photographers, and this will be the link that we give all those people who make all those calls. So, appreciate you guys filling in your info.
All right, moving on to some of those other categories. So the next one on there is my subscriptions. So if you go into that tab, you should be able to select your email that you've registered this account with. And if you already receive a newsletter of some sort, maybe it's the general newsletter, it should be checked in that square there. But just in case it is not, you might want to double check. But you can select which of these emailing lists you would like to receive. And then I do not have it on this screenshot, but just underneath it, there's a save button. So just make sure after you go through and check whatever you want to receive, that you hit that save button and your email will be added to those lists. Okay, so I'm going to jump down a little bit and then I'll go back up to events. But one of the other really helpful features of the Member Hub is it gives your organization an additional place to post jobs. So there is, just like the directory, there's the member view of this, and then there's the public side of this as well. So if you select the jobs tab on the left-hand side, you will see there's a few examples already in there. And it is also really simple to post a job of your own as well. So the only steps you really need to follow is in the top right, there's a blue add button when you're on the jobs tab. So if you select that, a pop-up screen will show up. And from there, it looks pretty similar to any other website where you're filling out the information needed for the job posting. So again, just make sure once it's filled out that you hit that save button at the bottom. And then, it will post like this for everyone to see. So before I go to the website and show where you can find that as well, there is a couple of things to keep in mind if you are going to post jobs. So the Member Hub is just another place for it to get posted. It is not a place where people can actually apply through it. So if your job is also posted on your business's website or on a site like Indeed, you're going to want to make sure in the description that you post the link to that other posting that you have. If you don't do that, I'm sure someone could see it and open up a tab and find the original, but just to, if someone's interested, make it easier, just include that link. When you post a job, there's also an expiration feature. So if your job's only going to be open till the end of the month, just make sure you set that date. If you don't set the expiration date, it's just going to sit there indefinitely and you may continue to be contacted for a job that you're no longer filling. If, for example, you were planning on taking applications until the end of the month, but then you fill it a few weeks earlier, you on your end are not able to delete it beforehand. So if you send an email, we can go through and pretty simply delete that. So that's what the third one, contact us if it is filled. So I'll go back for a second, and this is on, again, the public website. So if I go to the main homepage and go to the work here tab at the top, you will see the same jobs posted. So if you post a job on the member side, it will be available to the public as well. And there's different features where they can filter based on organization, job type, and all of that. Any questions with the jobs? Okay, if not, we'll go to the events tab, which is another really helpful feature of this website. So on the left-hand side, if you select events, you will see a calendar, and July will show up, and you can go into the future as well. And you will see some members have already added different events to this. So this is a place where Huron County Growth Partnership can post events, but members have that platform as well. So before I show you how to add one, if there's an event that someone else has posted, maybe we have posted and you want to register for it, you should be able to click on it on here, and it'll take you to a page where it'll provide more information about the date, the times, and whatever else was typed in there to explain the event. But then depending on the type of event, there's also, for some of them, the option to register. So if you select the register now button, it'll take you through a form where you can put in your information. If there is some sort of fee tied to it, this is what I was talking about earlier, you can put in individual payment information and pay for it there. Not all events are going to have like a register feature, but it isn't an option there. So if you go to just the events tab, if you're not already there, just like the jobs, there will be a plus sign at the top right where it says add new event. And pretty similar to the job postings, you'll get this pop-up form filled out to the best of your ability with as much complete information as possible, especially when it comes to dates, times, contact information, just so if someone is interested and they see it, that they have the complete information. One thing about events is that you may post an event and then kind of refresh this calendar and not see it. For most of the events, it goes to us first to approve it, but once it's approved, then it will show up. So just in case you don't see it right away, doesn't mean you necessarily did anything wrong. It's probably just waiting in that approval process. Okay, and then there's a forum feature to this. You should be able to see it. At this time, you cannot post anything to it. As we move forward, we will start to post different topics as they come up. So if there's some sort of topic, whether it's about job postings or something like that, that you want to get input from other members, we will start that, and then you'll be able to add to that discussion, and it'll just be a place where good dialogue between members can happen. So it's there, you can view it, but again, it's not fully live yet, but hopefully moving forward it will be. And then just as a reminder for especially those today that may be logged in for the first time, moving forward on the website, there's a banner at the top. It'll say member login. From now on, you can just go straight there, and with your email and the password you made for your account, you can log in that way. So you do not need to go through your email and everything like you did this initial time. Okay, I think those are the main things that I wanted to hit on. I think we're going to be questions with the member hub. So any questions that we have?
Jenny did chat one in about if you belong to more than one organization, do you need separate logins? And I know we had this question before, and I still don't know if I got totally right.
Yeah, so I believe if like maybe you're tied in with some organization, then a business as well, it will be two different logins.
So it'd be important to be sure we have the email address preferences for both.
Yes. And I think it's just set up that way, just so there's less confusion on which account you're logged in with and who it's tied to. Any other questions?
While people think of questions, I'll just say like what we're really excited for about this. We think it's going to add a lot of value to your membership, like the typical type of requests that we get, to drive more referrals to your business. There's quite a few ways to do that here in the back end, when you log into that member hub. Starting discussion amongst other members, offering a member to member discount, or even not necessarily a discount, but a promotion. Those are all things that can be done in here, and we're really excited to test those out with you. So, just keep asking questions as you get logged in because it's all new functionality for us too. So, we'll get it right so that we can really all take advantage of the features. Okay. Let's test out your question, Sarah, about adding your logo to the directory and showing super stretch. That's for Goodwill, Brian, if you want to.
Okay. I will say on the logos, that's one thing we have played around with quite a bit. Sometimes you have to add in like even the logo that I was using earlier when I went through and showed, it's a pretty large file and it still shows up small. So I would say if you have a couple of files of the logo to try to just kind of check to see how it shows up. But I know um, for some of them it shows up pretty large and others it's small. So I can look at that one, but that is something we have kind of noticed as well, that the logos, there doesn't seem to be consistency with how large they show up.